Tonight's episode is brought to you by New Orleans. If you're going to get screwed by Vegas, you should probably be in New Orleans so you can let the good times roll anyway. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed, Baron asked an important question before the show. How high? Max is grumpy and still hungry. How will he be on the show? Find out next on Ramblers Unleashed.
Yeah. Turn it up. Ramblers Unleashed. You know what it is. Dizzy on the mic, yeah, breaking all the news. Dropping bombs weekly, got nothing left to lose. Hell is hitting hard like a chair to the face. If it's happening in the ring, he already on the case. Baron in the corner, yeah, floating in a haze. Buzzkill coming quick, man, he lighting up the blaze. Laugh now, crash later, got that wild-eyed grin. Saying this max trash while he roll another spin. Turn it up loud, let the chaos begin. Three voices clashing, let the madness kick in. Rebel Lisa, yeah, we breaking the cage.
Sorry, I got into that. That was a lot better than Liv Morgan's music. And we love Liv Morgan here, just for the record.
I mean, that's you gotta admit that's a banger. That was sweet.
I'm gonna actually need to go listen to that because I didn't listen to it before. I was busy when it came in and then forgot to go back. But I'll do that later, ladies and gentlemen. Backlash Tampa is tomorrow. That means we are going to be doing picks tonight. But first, let me introduce the Ramblers. A man who tries to give RBD a run for his money. Give this man a huge round of applause. It's the Baron.
Hey, thanks, Max. We missed you. Did we do a show last week?
You and Dizzy did the show last week. I wasn't feeling great, and I couldn't keep my eyes open. My schedule being what it was just funky.
I hear you. Sean, salute to our boy, our number one guy. We love you. We need to get you on the show like tomorrow or whenever we go live next. It's overdue.
Up next, I'd like to introduce a man who's joining the Ramblers Unleashed Right for AEW creative team. It's our boy, Sean. Give it up for Sean.
Do you think our boy Sean could even fix that?
If we all work as a team, I think we're fine. But the Ramblers Unleashed creative team is me, you, Sean, and if Dizzy and Styles are still in, they're still welcome to join us. But we're fixing that shit as a team. The first thing we have to do is get the guy in charge to check himself into rehab while we fix the booking on his shows.
Well, let's give it a little time. Let's work with him a little bit. He seems to have some good stuff on his side that we could be getting involved with for just a short period of time, just to really feel the buzz, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, but tonight we're not going to kill any buzzes. I mean, we kind of are, but not with a segment for killing buzzes, just for the record. And that kind of brings me to the first thing we need to talk about tonight. Before we get into all this, we do have sad news. Ted Turner has passed away at the age of 87 from Lewy body dementia. He first revealed his diagnosis back in 2018, saying it left him tired and exhausted, but what bothered him most was the forgetfulness. Lewy body dementia is the second most common form of dementia, right behind Alzheimer's. For our crowd, Ted was best known for owning WCW. Thank you, Ted, for giving us the Monday Night Wars. We totally should. Tell you what, when we take over the company, Sean, we will sign cocaine and book him.
That's a legitimate independent wrestler, right? Yes.
It is.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen the videos. It's been a minute. There's a lot of independent canes out there, but I think cocaine has got to be the best, right?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ted Turner. I mean, like, he created I mean, has there ever been a period of time more legendary than the Monday Night Wars? No.
Listen, can we do Attitude Era stuff in the modern day and age? Probably not. In fact, most of the people out there that have been crying for the Attitude Era to come back would probably not really like half of what they saw. But it shaped the wrestling world in ways that only the Attitude Era and the Monday Night Wars could have done at the time.
Yeah.
Shout out to my boy Phil Mushnick for never getting WWE taken off the air. You were the most successful bastard at TV Guide, though, weren't you?
I mean, yeah, dude, legendary time. Ted Turner created that alternative promotion everybody was kind of itching for, right? To really fucking start the best period of wrestling. I mean, I thought about it the other day. It is crazy to me if you go back and watch old tapings, and because I didn't really remember growing up how crazy it was. Like, meaning the crowd then was middle-aged men for the most part, right? And younger teens, but there was never like kids like you see now. Like half of the crowd is always kids at these events, right? And it's crazy how fast everything really changed. And I mean, it's just insane to me because I do miss the Attitude Era days. I think we all do. You know, it's always funny that we always hear these hardcore wrestling fans say, I miss the Attitude Era, and they're diehard. Like, they always talk about wrestling matches, meaning like, 5-star matches all the time, right? They're always technical on how wrestling style is now, and they enjoy that. But if you go back to the Attitude Era, wrestling fucking sucked for the most part in ring work. So it's pretty insane to me on that front. But yeah, man, rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch a lot of early WCW. I watched some. It wasn't something I watched regularly. WWE was my go-to even back then. But when the Outsiders made their infamous debut on Nitro, it became a weekly thing for me. But as part of being honest about this, and no disrespect, Ted, or WCW people or anybody out there, it was mostly crap before Hall and Nash invaded. I'm sorry, it was. What I did watch bored the shit out of me, and you had a couple of good standout matches here and there, but I mean, overall, it was shit. And then Hall and Nash come walking in and take over the show, and now we have magic. And to this day, I stand by the statement that if Brett screwed Brett, as Vince famously said one time, WCW screwed WCW. You had too many people in charge. That many egos trying to run a show is going to bring it down. And Ted, I'm sorry that the egos took over and destroyed what you tried to give us, because you gave us something good. Unlike that guy at Daly's place. Fuck him.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Sean says, right? Miss good matches, stories, and I think we're getting a different style of stories these days. I think we get good matches on both promotions. Nobody can sit here and deny AEW's wrestling matches. You just can't. They have very good matches. Now, their stories suck, right? And, I feel like WWE stories are good, but I also feel like a lot of their matches suck. So that, and yeah, the celebrity factor, I understand that. I don't knock the celebrities. Some of the celebrities I can't fucking stand. Jelly Roll, I'm throwing his name out there. Get him the fuck off the TV. I could care less about this guy. Yeah, I'm sorry. But anyways, celebrities have always been a thing in WWE, right? Like in WCW, any promotion, celebrities are a thing. So that factor doesn't bother me as much as just shitty stories, which we get a lot in WWE.
Yeah, and look, I like a good wrestling match, but a good wrestling match tells a story. Even if the bookers didn't write a story to go along with it, your match has to tell a story. There has to be a good flow. And as good as some of these matches are, they're just not telling stories. And real quick, in response to what let's do the celebrity thing, and then we'll talk about the tag team thing real quick. I don't mind celebrities being a part of stuff. I don't have a problem with that. It's been WrestleMania tradition since day one that celebrities are involved in WrestleMania. That doesn't bother me. And sometimes they're around for other shows, stuff like that. What bothers me is the emphasis on them being involved in the matches. And I can trace it back to when it really became a problem for me. And at the time, when I first watched it, I was excited. I was like, oh my God, he just super kicked that guy. But then as I thought about it over the next couple of days, I was like, they just totally broke kayfabe by letting him do that. And I'm talking about when Chuck Norris was special enforcer for the WWE during a title match. I hated that. Looking back, it was terrible. And that just opened the door for all kinds of horrible celebrity appearances, including, and listen, I've been back and forth on how I feel about Jelly Roll, but he had no involvement in those matches, or he had no reason to be involved in any of the matches he was in where he was actually in the match involved. It was one thing when he took the beating backstage. Okay, no problem. I'm okay with that. But the minute you let him put hands on during the match, that was bad. And McAfee, listen, I love your enthusiasm. I love the fact that you're a fan doing a wrestling world job. But your involvement was too much. Although the credit that I will give to you is that you took the time to fully train. And that really helped your case quite a bit. As far as the tag team thing goes, ding dongs belong in a little wrapper on my desk next to my Twinkies. But a WCW tag team that did not get the love that it deserved from WCW, that was wrong. The fans loved it. It was an organic hit overnight. They weren't supposed to be fan favorites, and the fans loved them. They were a throw-together tag team. And that's the Hollywood Blondes, Stone Cold and Brian Pillman. They made that gimmick work. And Kevin Sullivan was so jealous that he screwed it up, even though it was so over with the fans. And those two were damn good in the ring. Yes, just a casket match. That's correct. So, did you mute again?
You ask how high? Very high.
No, I said you asked how high, and then you answered your own question.
Very high. I mean, one thing we also have to mention here, not to get too far away with what we were just talking about, but rest in peace, Ted Turner. But I also have to say, rest in peace, Gingerbread Man as well. That was a very
buttons.
That was a very holy SmackDown, But yeah, I just don't, there's certain celebrities that really make it work, and there's some that don't, right? And
Right.
Jelly Roll was one of them. I can't fucking stand the guy. But there has been some really solid ones we can't forget about,
I think one of my favorites was Bob Barker.
Bob Barker was great. Yeah.
That was probably one of the best things I ever saw was Bob Barker's involvement. And Mickey Rourke wasn't terrible. Tyson was kind of fun while he was around, but
Tyson, he elevated WWE during a period of time, right? Like his involvement with Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels was absolutely legendary. I'll never forget that moment.
I think one of my least favorite celebrity involvements in pro wrestling was I'm with you there, Sean. Bad Bunny went out and learned as well, and I think he did a damn good job.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite celebrity involvements was when God tag teamed with Shawn Michaels. God should never have been in that match. I'm sorry. Whoever booked that shit should be taken out back and beaten with a rubber hose. All right, guys, listen.
I can think of one celebrity appearance, not to go crazy again, that triumphs all human beings as a celebrity on wrestling. I won't mention the name, but I think Max knows where I'm getting at. But yeah, go ahead, move on.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Listen, we're gonna talk about Jelly Roll again later in the show. Baron doesn't know it yet, but
I thought we weren't killing buzzes tonight.
I read something before the show that I don't think he's gonna like, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. Listen, I want to bring your spirits back up. Talking about Ted Turner passing away, it's kind of a sad subject. I mean, he was a significant figure in the formulation. He affected our lives early on in what as pro wrestling fans. There is no denying that. But I want to bring it back up real quick. We talk about AEW almost every show, but when I do this, I try to make sure I have a story about one particular member of AEW, and I will never pass on it if I get the chance. If I see his name pop up, I'm going to try and put it in there because 9 times out of 10, it's a fun story. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's enjoyable. It's not something that's going to upset us or bring us down. And in this particular case, this is no exception. From Fightful.com, MJF replies to Val Venus with famous Cody Rhodes burial. For some reason, Val Venus, who has made we're going to skip that line. Val Venus brought up MJF. He wrote on social media, "Don't get me started on MJF." Maxwell Jacob Friedman didn't let him start, firing back with a famous Cody Rhodes tweet that took aim at Disco Inferno. The Cody tweet used by MJF reads, "Stop. You know nothing. You have drawn $0. No fan has ever left the show thinking about you. You were lucky to be a juiced-up double lifer over with the boys type in an era where you hid in plain sight, coasting on others' success, couldn't hang in, can't get booked now." And I got to be honest for you guys, I'm with MJF on this one. I really am.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? I mean, it's still funny to me that we keep the name Val Venus into anything relative to wrestling these days.
I mean, really, the only time that he has any relevance is when he goes after someone like MJF or someone like that. And then all of a sudden they mention his name and he becomes relevant for 5 minutes. And then we talk about him because, damn, son, you just got burnt.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wish, sometimes we didn't have to mention. He really went off the rails.
He did. He went off the deep end.
And he was also, I don't know if he still is, didn't he? He owned a cannabis line, right?
As far as I know, he still does.
He still does.
As far as I know, I haven't done any looking into it. I mean, I know that when I was down in Texas, I saw a lot of information on the line that he runs, the company he has, but I have seen nothing mentioned about it in a while. So,
yes, and that's what I thought. So he does. In Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
Purple Haze Lounge, now called Health for Life Dispensaries. Interesting.
First off, let me just say, the original name was much better.
Yeah.
Should have stuck with that. Second of all, if I needed another reason not to go down to the hell that is Phoenix, he's it. So, all right, guys, I want to bring up one more thing briefly before we go into our picks. Here's the thing. We know that there have been major cuts, and I'm not going into a discussion about everybody that's been cut or anything like that. I want to talk about the New Day real quick. We're going to miss them. They have been very entertaining. When it was all 3 of them, when it went down to 2, when it went back to 3, went back down to 2, and when Grayson joined them, it wasn't quite as good, but it was still good. I like Grayson, don't get me wrong. But what I want to talk about is something that that Kofi said in his goodbye message. And I want to turn this back on Kofi and Xavier. And in fact, I want to turn it back on everybody who's been cut. I want to turn it on those that are going through negotiations with TKO right now, because I know you're still out there. I know you're still going through those. Not everybody's negotiations have been completed. I know that. But Kofi said something that really struck with me in his message after he was released. And he said, I'm going to read a little bit more before the part that I was coming here to talk about. Do your best to live a life without regrets. Control what you can control. Always give it your all and fight hard for what you believe in. Now, this next part's why I wanted to bring this up. Do not ever compromise or accept less than your due when it comes to your worth. And then he says, find the courage to believe in yourself and fearlessly pursue your goals and dreams, because anything else is anything is possible. And I just want to first off shout out Kofi for saying that. Do not ever compromise or accept less than your due when it comes to your worth. I know that you really can't talk about what happened and the negotiations that took place, what they were offering you and all that, but good for you guys for not compromising what you're worth. Listen, let me just say these negotiations take place every once in a while. They want to reduce their payout, especially in cases like this where New Day may not be wrestling as full-time as they once were, so maybe we can cut their pay down a bit to compensate for that. But look, you guys are worth every penny that they were paying you before they tried to negotiate you down. To accept a compromise from them would have been wrong. And that goes for everybody that chose to decline the paltry sum that they were offering you. I've heard a big number for how much they wanted to cut contracts payouts by. So I just want to say, New Day, we're with you. The Ramblers Unleashed, we're 100% behind you in your decision.
Oh, absolutely. Never, ever stop knowing your worth in life, right? Financially, mentally, just, like never take less than what you want. I am curious, how much were they getting paid, do you think, yearly? What was their salary? Are we in the millions with the New Day? I mean, they are one of the best. You can't deny their tag team run, right?
Right, you cannot. And I believe that they, I believe they were in the millions.
Yeah, I that's what I would probably assume myself. Very, if not million, very, very close to it.
Oh, God damn it. Okay. First off, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because of who tweeted it. Second, if this is true, it's bullshit. And it explains why. It's probably because they couldn't work out a deal with Xavier. But third, I'm pretty sure it's not WWE. It's either TKO or Endeavor. So listen, you guys over there at Wrestling Observer, you need to get it right. There's been too many times I've caught you guys getting it wrong. This is definitely a TKO or Endeavor thing. So just so you guys know, the Baron sent me a message. WWE is reportedly shutting down streamers and content creators. And if it's true, it's dumb. So let's just go with it's dumb, and that's where we're going to leave that, because that should not be the case. Came over here for a reason. Oh, I sent a picture of the boys earlier from someone named Ice Poppy on Twitter. And it says, crazy, WWE had New Day, the Usos, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Lucha Bros all at the same time and never had them do one match.
And our tag team champions are who now? When we had those, we have Damian Priest. Love Damian Priest. R-Truth. And then we have Logan Paul and...
Oh, yeah. Logan Paul, who had a very not so self-aware complaint about Who was it? I Show Speed he was complaining about, or was it somebody else? He's like, these reality stars think they can just show up here, or these
Yeah, I
influencers.
should be. Yeah.
Listen, Logan, you need to get some self-awareness, buddy. But yeah, I mean, this is where we're at, and yeah, you're right. It's embarrassing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Austin Theory, and I wish the best for him.
I like all four of them. I really do. It was no knock on any of them because they're all great in their own right. But
yeah,
when you think of tag teams,
yeah. But here's a question I have: how long is the agreement that they're not going to team the Lucha Bros together? Because there's a reason they put them on separate shows. It's because WWE wants to put off putting them in a tag team together. But how long?
I think
Because-
Penta's too big, right? I think Penta is way too big to be with Phoenix at this point in juncture in WWE. I hate to say it. I think his entrance is top notch. His wrestling's top notch. He's just a fantastic fucking character overall, and I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad he's having his single run, and I worry about Phoenix. Man has not won a match in a very long time. So I'm glad they're not in a tag team though, because they would have really got lost. You know, we could be talking in 2 years here. Their releases.
Right. Which seems to be about the average amount of time. Well, unless you're JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, apparently you don't even get a full year. So
that's. I'm sorry. That's one I agreed with. I thought there was nothing character-wise ever going to be there with him. He looks like a tank, and great, cool, but like he's never been anything like fantastic, at least in my mind. So I'm really not shocked by his release at all. I just hope all of them find jobs very soon. I hope some find their way back, but I do have to mention here, nobody has really outpoured to these wrestlers, like bring them back immediately outside of Kari Sane, or whatever.
I'm all for her coming back.
Absolutely, I am too. But you know what happened when R-Truth got released? The internet blew the fuck up. They're not doing that with the rest of these people. So it's almost like,
I'm going to be honest with you, Baron. Most of them agree with you on the Wyatt Six. They'll enjoy them while they're there, but they can take them or leave them in the current incarnation. Aleister Black, I'm a little disappointed because he was back for such a short time. And I think he was starting to make an impact. I think that impact was gradual. The Motor City Machine Guns, I'm really shocked by them being gone. But I'm going to be honest, the only one that really upset me was Kairi Sane. You had such a big deal storyline going on that she was involved in, it was big. I mean, she was the damsel in distress being pulled back and forth between Io and Asuka. And yes, you can do the story without her, but the story was more intriguing with her.
I think that is one of those. I don't think that was an actual release. I think she's going to come back, interfere, beat the fuck out of Asuka, and everything's happy. I think this is a storyline release.
So you think? Oh, you know what?
I truly do.
Brock Lesnar and pretty much everybody else have been moved over to the alumni page now. So what I want to do is, because you said that,
there's so many people on that alumni. I looked like a week or two ago, and I just gave up. I was like,
"Oh, I'm not on the alumni page."
Oh, okay.
What I was saying was, no, I didn't go far enough. So like every other name that got mentioned in the releases are already on the, and so is she, by the way. Damn. I was hoping they hadn't. I didn't go to the alumni. I know she's not listed on the active right now, though. So, Okay, guys, it is that time. And I think we need to get into this because somebody here needs to pass out really soon. And it's not me this time. So, we only have 5 matches, it looks like. And that's even after tonight's SmackDown, unless they throw us a surprise tomorrow. But I'm not really expecting them to. This seems about typical for WWE outside of the main pay-per-views or PLEs. So we have a very tense grudge match. Seth Rollins versus his protege, Braun Breaker. And everything I've seen, Braun's been getting the better of him this whole time. Except for when, well, I mean, even then, even when he was doing the mask gimmick, he was getting the better of everybody else in the division, but not Braun Breaker. Who you got in this one, Baron?
First and foremost, shout to the Smash the podcast over here. I can't you can't see where my fingers are going. Much love, brother. All right, first and foremost, real quick here on this match, I'm actually highly fucking pissed. This match didn't make it to Mania. Why are we getting this at Backlash?
Okay, 2 reasons. One, I'm pretty sure that Braun was clear to return medically in time for Mania, but they didn't have enough build-up time. And 2, they needed to get Gunther on the card, so they put him against Seth, which is setting up for a favor down the road for Heyman. I'm not sure what that favor is, but that's how I understand it. And also, J-Bone, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Boner. Miss you, love you. Hope all is well. Yeah, much love. Okay, you didn't explain anything to me that I didn't already know, Max. It still doesn't make sense that fucking match didn't happen at Mania. It pisses me off. We're getting in that Backlash. That was a great story going into Mania, right?
Yeah.
I don't like we're getting it here. I'm hoping maybe we get a couple more matches between the two of them, right?
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. Breaker's got the upper hand every single time, which makes me believe we're going to get a false finish of some sort. Fuck, I actually do not know who to pick on this match. Nonetheless, it's going to be a great match. This is going to be fantastic. I'm going to go... You know I don't like losing. I'm going to go with Breaker on this match.
All right.
Let's go with the Breaker.
All right. Up next, we have the United States Championship on the line as Trick Williams with Lil Yachty in his corner will defend the title against Sami Zayn.
You know, I think there's going to be a resurgence from the Gingerbread Man here during this match. Some sort comes back from the dead.
What about his gumdrop buttons?
I think Gingerbread Man is coming back from the dead. He's going to fuck over Sami Zayn, and Trick Williams retains. I get bonus points if Gingerbread Man makes an appearance. Okay? Right. I want bonus points.
All right, I'll grant you an extra point if Gingerbread Man resurrects. Up next, we have the battle of the master and her student. And you know what? I'll make that joke when it's my turn to pick. Io Sky versus Asuka.
Again, this is a wild prediction. I think Zayn's coming back. I think she's going to interfere in this match. Fuck Asuka over, and Sky wins this match. I do believe that is a storyline release. At least I'm hoping, because that would have been really stupid on WWE's part to release her. during this story, because I think she's playing the larger part in this story.
All right. Yeah, I think so too. I think that while it's doable without her, I think it's a mistake to do it without her. So
I do think it's a mistake, but then it's almost too much of a mistake for her not to be involved at this point, right?
yeah.
So.
All right, we're gonna skip down to the main event and then come back to the tag match. Roman goes into this match as the champion, the world heavyweight champion, taking on his cousin, the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu, who has brought back the Tongan Death Grip to the WWE. Listen, we've been doing this long enough. I know what you're about to say.
You
because
don't.
we talked about it. And you're going to say, you may not actually pick Roman. I'm saying what you're about to say is you can never go against the OTC. You say it every time except for last time when I said it before you. But I know you're going to say that. But keep in mind who he's facing.
I know. And the other thing I'm thinking about too is Roman's been left off of June completely. They said it was a mistake, right? That's what they said. So is this a time that we have a transitional champion and Roman goes away? Because I think what I read was Roman didn't want to travel, right? Don't they have a show coming up in Saudi Arabia in June?
Let's see.
I could be getting some of the stories crossed at this point. I do know I've read multiple times Roman was going to not be on anything in June. And then somebody backtracked and said it was a mistake and all this other shit. And I don't know what is true.
Night of Champions. Yeah. Okay. So this is something that we talked about, but it looks like it's definitely on. There was a lot of talk that they were looking at not doing it. They were going to cancel the show altogether, not just move it elsewhere, but cancel it. Night of Champions is scheduled for June 27th, and it's at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh. And with everything that's been going on over there, they were talking about just flat out canceling the show altogether. But it does look like it's on. As of April 23rd.
I read something, or even I heard today there's something being put in place, no traveling over there. But nonetheless, they could probably get through anyways, because blood money. God damn. This is a tough one, because there's I really don't think Roman's going to be around in June. He's not going to travel to Saudi Arabia. He doesn't have to, right?
Right.
And if there's real concern about him traveling, this is a great time to put a title on Jacob.
Yeah.
Fatu. But isn't it almost too soon? First defense and Roman loses?
But look who he's facing. Now, I'm not saying that Jacob Fatu is equal to CM Punk or Seth Rollins or someone like that. Don't misunderstand that. Jacob Fatu is damn good. I really enjoy watching. I'm not saying he's equal to one of them, but he is family. And who do you underestimate the most? You underestimate the little guy and you underestimate family.
Yeah. With all said here, I'm still going with the OTC because you never bet against the OTC.
All right, Roman it is.
But for pick's sake, it's Roman. Jordan's sake, Jacob Fatu is going to win this because I don't think Roman Reigns is traveling in June.
Nope, and you need that title on the line in June.
You need the title at Night of Champions on the line. Yeah, I'm still going with Roman, though, because I don't want to lose points.
All right. One more match. And before we get into discussing who you think is going to win this match, before we went live, there was an article from Brian Alvarez, who, of course, works with Uncle Dave. So give the devil its due. Take it with a grain of salt. Don't put a lot of stock into it. But Brian Alvarez says that the rumor is that Danhausen's opponent for tomorrow's show is going to be Jelly Roll.
I've seen this for a while now. I knew what direction when I mentioned him earlier in the show we were going with here. Why? What involvement does Jelly Roll would gain from being involved with the Miz?
I don't know, but one of my favorite things that happened with this whole thing was Danhausen tweeting all the retired wrestlers. I'll give you $40 human to come out of retirement and be my partner.
I know there's another person on the show that's not like Danhausen. However, I think he's fantastic, and I love every fucking segment. Yes, love it. Too bad we couldn't flip that camera around. Can I do that?
No, you probably can. I might be able to. Let's see here.
Oh. Yes, I got it. Lower it again. You are cursed. Love it. Absolutely love it.
I like to send this next message out to J-Bone. You are cursed.
Do you really think Jelly Roll is going to be part of this?
Do I think so? No. Brian Alvarez has said that there are rumors. I'm going to be honest with you. I heard some guy's theories that he was talking about. I didn't hear Jelly Roll on that list. I did hear John Cena.
Yes.
Now, not like physically John Cena gets in the match, but like, oh, John Cena's right here. You can't see him. So basically it'd be a handicap match. Thanks, J-Bone. I heard actually the one that I think is most likely is the other one that I'm hearing is a rumor, and it's CM Punk.
I'm for it. I just don't see CM Punk getting involved with the Miz.
Well, I think it's more because he and Danhausen are friends.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And Punk has nothing going on tomorrow in Tampa.
It's true. I just looked up Jelly Roll's concert tour to see if he's on tour in that area. He doesn't have a show in Florida until May 28th. So he does have the capability of being there. So,
and we know John Cena will be there.
John Cena will be there. I'm not sure what that announcement will be, but that'll be interesting. But it's, what's really sad for this poor guy? He retired from wrestling, and he's having to come back to sell tickets.
He's been back 2 PLEs in a row. Poor guy.
I know. The guy can't catch a break. He wants to be gone. And they're like, no, we need you. Help us sell some tickets here, man. I'm going Danhausen on this match. I don't care who his partner is. This is going to be very interesting and very cursed match. Fuck it, yeah. If we're having to do a pick on whose partner is going to be, I'll go with CM Punk.
Yeah. Okay, I'll put you there because I was about to tell you right below that match. I have who will Danhausen's partner be.
Perfect.
And I already had Punk because that's who I've got picked, but I was waiting for your pick to put there.
I could see that. I mean, Punk doesn't have a match, doesn't have a story going in. He's here to help. So yeah, that'll be great. I do like Kit Wilson too. I don't think he gets enough love from the WWE Universe. I think he's great.
But here's part of the reason I think this is such a great. Let's not talk about the Miz part of this, but Danhausen and Kit Wilson are such a great combo for this feud because you have the "you are cursed," but you also have the "you are toxic," and so they've kind of got a similar style despite being two completely different gimmicks.
Yeah, and that's why it's been fun. It's been entertaining, and of course, Miz is doing his job, putting these two people over. So, yeah, exactly. Like, props to the Miz. Danhausen is fucking great, and I love him. So, yeah.
So there's two other possibilities because of what you just said. That Miz is doing a good job of putting them over. There's two other names that I think could possibly fit in this, with that being the criteria. Bouncy, I don't think he needs the push that this match would bring, but that's a possibility. And then we do have a new face on SmackDown that just got called to the main roster that could use the main roster rub from Miz. And that's Ricky Saints.
Yeah, but Ricky Saints is like going into the story currently with I guess he doesn't have really a story going on.
I just listen to him as a possibility if you consider the criteria of putting these newer guys over. So
yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like someone that has been around Danhausen while he's been around. You know what I'm saying?
Speed wants to get rid of that curse. Maybe this is how he does it. Somebody said they thought it would be funny if Danhausen's partner was actually Elton Prince.
I see. I just typed it in just to see if there's anybody else spitballing who it could be. And every article says Jelly Roll.
I hope not.
I really hope not. I don't. Did Jelly Roll have something to do with Kit Wilson? Jelly also built a history with. Okay. All right. I must have missed this completely. It's also worth pointing out that Jelly Roll has built in history with both The Miz and Kit Wilson, with the musician picking up his first WWE win against Wilson on March 27th episode of SmackDown.
All right.
So that's
like
going to be the angle, I guess, we're going with.
Guys, it sounds like it's Jellyhausen tomorrow night. But
Curse his ass.
That being said, let's go ahead back to the beginning, and I will give you guys my picks. In the matter of Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker, this court finds Seth Rollins will probably be the winner unless we get a Bronson Reed return and we have a shenanigans ending like you had suggested. But if we get an actual win out of this, I think it has to be Seth, because Braun has dominated since he returned. So that's why I put down Seth. But I'm thinking there might be some merit to some kind of non-ending idea. I'm thinking SummerSlam we get the real match because it's a big PLE. Still, all that said, I'm going with Seth for this. For the U.S. Championship match, I haven't seen enough of SmackDown since Mania. I haven't seen any SmackDown since Mania. But I'm going with Sammy on this one. I think that he is going to put down little Yachty early. That's going to leave it one-on-one, him and Trick, and I think he's going to end up getting the pin on Trick. It's going to be a quick schoolboy roll-up or something like that, but I think he gets the win. In the matter of Io Sky versus Asuka, the master versus the student, I truly believe, in honor of what this month is, I truly believe that the student has become the master. And for that reason, I have picked Io to win this match. That was the joke I was saving, Baron. The student has become the master.
I got it. I got it.
All right. And then that's going to bring us to Danhausen and a as of yet undetermined opponent or partner versus The Miz and Kit Wilson. I am still holding out hope that Punk will be the partner. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Jelly Roll, as we discussed, but I'm still seeing Danhausen get the win on this. That will bring us to the main event. And I know that we don't go against the OTC. I get that. And I've done this before. I acknowledge you. But I think, for those of you that don't know, since Baron and I have taken over running the show, he asks me, what picture are we going to use? What name are we going with for the show for tonight? So, I picked the Jacob Fatu. I picked the all gas, no brakes in Tampa because I think Fatu, after tomorrow night, will be your new World Heavyweight Championship. So that's where we stand on the picks.
That's a bold prediction there, Cotton. I love Jacob Fatu. I think it's great. I just feel like, however, we're not getting that type of stuff anymore. Meaning we have championships that are chosen by TKO for generating revenue, generating ticket sales, all of that, right?
But how do you generate revenue if your champion can't be at Night of Champions?
Well, we only get 4 fucking matches on these PLEs anymore. Send Cody Rhodes over there. There's your champion that has a match.
Night of Champions. Well,
it's never been like that, though. That's the thing. It used to be champion versus champion on every U.S. title, IC title, world, all that. We just haven't had that in a long time. And I think the last time we had Night of Champions, I mentioned the same thing.
Well, either way, there's one other factor that's more of a political factor than a storyline reason. My understanding is that with his part-time schedule, Roman is one of those that they are trying to negotiate a pay cut with.
That ain't gonna work out. you don't pay cut to your biggest star of the entire industry. I mean, like, I put Roman Reigns over Cody Rhodes when it comes to like star power at the end of the day, and I think he has got to be the biggest star power in wrestling combined. TNA.
Yes, and while I agree with you on this, if he has refused their request to negotiate a lower salary mid-contract, let me remind you, because that's dumb. If he has refused their request to try and negotiate him down, then they may take the title off him. We've seen them punish people before for stuff that has nothing to do with on-screen stuff. Not the Usos. I mean, how many DUIs did they have and they were still tag team champions? Listen, I love the Usos now, but that pissed me off.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see what they really have planned for Roman. I just can't believe the man would win Mania and lose the title the next PLE. But stranger shit is happening currently in WWE. So I actually wouldn't be too surprised. And I'm all for any type of run they got Jacob going on. I think he's fucking fantastic. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I listen, and if you... we do have the book down there, right? Yeah, guys, don't forget, check out In Demand Indie. It's in the description below the show. It's a book written by my friend Rob Ryzin, damn good wrestler. And as far as tomorrow goes, I will probably be in the Discord during Backlash if anybody wants to live discuss the show. If I'm not, it's because I didn't make it home in time for Backlash, and I will let you guys know that as we get close to the Backlash time. But I think that being said, I think that's what we came to cover tonight, and unfortunately for Baron, we took a little longer than we planned. But let's wrap this up so Baron can go to bed. How can they find you, Baron?
You guys know where you can fucking find me. Scumbag Jordan with 3. You won't follow me, but if you wanted to, there it is.
I think that's a possibility, J-Bone. I don't think it's likely, but I think it's a possibility. You can find me at Max Magius. You can find the show at the Ramblers Pod. And if you want to join our Discord, that is also... Wait, is it? No, I guess it's not. I guess if you want to join our Discord, reach out. You know, we'll send you the link.
It used to be in there. I don't know. The high guy put it together. Leave me alone.
I'm not judging you right now. But that's going to do it for us this week, guys. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. We'll be back next week. My next overnights are not until June 7th and 8th at this point, so we should be good for the next few weeks.
We going back to Tuesdays?
We're probably going to go back to Tuesdays for now, because that works out best for everybody. The only reason we were doing other nights is because of my schedule and yours, and I think we're good again.
My schedule's just fucking. If I'm exhausted, I don't even know what's going on anymore. But yeah.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. J-Bum, thanks for stopping by. Sean,
Much love,
we love
J-Bum.
you. Sean's our boy.
Sean's our guy. I love that guy. Peace out, boys.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.